The show is beginning right now. Put on your glasses and your hats and take a seat as we talk with our guests. Hello and welcome to tonight's show. Oh, some messages may not be downloaded to messages. You don't understand. My phone is all backed up. I'm not getting cell phone messages. I was just telling my guests about my ridiculous situation. Welcome to tonight's show, everybody. We are here for an episode of what we used to call live pizza. When the show first started, it was live pizza, and now it's just Pizza Punk. That's what it is. It's Pizza Punk. Pizza Punk is our interview show. Both of these guests, actually, my lord, are these our first two? No, that's not true, because we had Loki returned a couple times, and Joe has been on the show a few times, and we've had Robbie a few times. So these are not our first two reoccurring guests, but they are reoccurring guests. They've both been on separate shows. Neither one of them has been on Pizza Punk, though. Batman has good hands. Batman has good hands. What a weird phrase. Batman has good hands from AA, nonetheless. These guys are in a band called Voice of Doom. And they are just one of those wonderful DIY entities that are just out there. They've been around in various incarnations for a while. And, they played, I got to see them live we did that Lodi VFW show. It was a wonderful grassroots community sort of thing. It was the joint baby of both John of Doom as well as Robbie Bloodshed. And it was a wonderful event. We got to meet a lot of people that were, that sort of congregate around this show and this channel and whatnot. And we had a really great time. They put on a killer set. They have fog machines, and the music is loud and ferocious. And they treat their Misfits covers with such tender loving care. And the lead singer has all the tenacious ferociousness of a Wolverine fused together with the gracefulness of a ballerina. But I say that in the best way possible. It's wonderful. What's up? Walter White from New Zealand is in the house. We have Rue Morgue in the comments, of course. And without further ado, let's bring out Voice of Doom. Yeah. I love it.
Frumess.
I love it.
Riotstickers.com.
Yeah. Whoa, I'm loving this right now. Everybody's eating pizza, wearing shades and hats. Gentlemen, what's going on?
Lodi pizza. Lodi pizza.
That's all, John.
Lodi pizza.
How are we going to call you guys? I'm going to call you Doom and Steele, or John and John. John of Steele, he only knows how to say the word Lodi. That's what he's going to say the whole night. Lodi. Lodi.
You ever call Lodi pizza?
John.
That's how they answer the phone. Lodi.
That is. You're right. You're right about that. Guys, how are you guys doing tonight? What's going on?
Good.
Tired.
Long day. Rough
Suffering
day
from
work,
insomnia.
Oh, yeah? For real? For real?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, man. That is crazy.
Pandemic hit, I think. I don't know what's going on, but...
Because you work from home.
Yeah.
Your sleep schedule's whacked out.
You got to get out of the house once in a while.
That'll do it. You got to get out of the house. You got to go for, I go for walks.
Yeah.
I go for walks. And, that's really nice. Sometimes, I'll go and I'll listen to some podcasts on my walk. And it's just a great way to sort of rebalance my mind. Oh, actually, John, I have a great suggestion for you. I don't know if it'll work for insomnia, but let me actually tell you about this. I'm going to tell you about this. I was having a lot of trouble sleeping. I don't know why. Probably a combination of dealing with like emotional turmoil, as well as just a bunch of things. I got myself a weighted blanket. Actually, my mother bought me a weighted blanket. She had a weighted blanket. She said, And she's, she's a Jewish mother. God bless her. You want a weighted blanket? It's really great. Blah, 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 blah. And I said, Mom, of course. Yeah, Mom, I'll take a weighted blanket. So she bought me a weighted blanket. It's not, it was a very nice gift. And let me tell you something. I didn't understand, like, what is a weighted blanket? It's simply a blanket that's filled with pockets of sand, like a quilt, right? So I go to sleep first night, weighted blanket, put the weighted blanket on me. 25 pounds this weighted blanket is. Okay.
Wow.
They go from 15 to 25 pounds. I'm, I don't know what my weight is, but I'm definitely more portly than, say, maybe I was. Portly is a nice way of putting it. Any case,
Crampton was portly.
Okay. Well,
portly.
Okay. So now you make me feel bad. You make me feel better. You make me feel better about myself. I put the weighted blanket on me, and I got to tell you, I sleep like a baby. And when I say I sleep like it's crazy. I can't watch a show in bed anymore because I put the blanket on me and my eyelids physically start to get heavy and I pass out. I didn't take any pills. I didn't drink any tea. I didn't drink any NyQuil, nothing. It's just a simple weighted blanket. There's something about the weight of the blanket on my body that makes me feel really good, really secure. And
I like the idea of one.
Let me tell you something. Sometimes wait for them to go look on Amazon, wait for them to go on sale, pull the trigger. I'm telling you, sometimes I will get less sleep. Like instead of 7 hours sleep, maybe I'll get 4 hours of sleep, but I sleep with that weighted blanket.
Doesn't it make you hot though? Doesn't it? Because I like to be extremely cold when I sleep. Doesn't it make you too warm?
So here's the thing, John. Here's the thing.
What's the trick?
It does make you a little hot. So you got to either sleep wearing very, very little. That's number one. But number two, I always put my feet out of the blanket. I have my feet completely exposed. I don't care if any monsters from under the bed like grab my feet. I'm a 36-year-old man. I shouldn't worry about those sort of things. I don't have my feet under. It's weird when your feet are exposed, your whole body feels cooler in bed. I don't know. I find that. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, but do they have Misfits branded weighted blankets?
I don't know, but I imagine it'd be more expensive than how much a weighted blanket costs. But I'll tell you something. It's something that I don't think I could ever live without now. And it's just a non-invasive way of trying to go to sleep without.
There you go, Linus.
I'm gonna try it.
There you go, Linus. Your security.
I'm just saying, if it's really starting to weigh on you, use a weighted blanket and see if that will help.
I'm gonna come over and try yours first.
Okay, you'll get into bed. We'll cuddle and we'll watch Twins of Evil or something. No, you know what you do? You go to the sleep store. You go to the sleep store and you try one out. Try it out. Say, hey, let me try out the weighted blanket.
And if you fall asleep in the store, then it's sold.
I would imagine so.
Nice.
I would imagine so. So there's that. And I got to tell you, listen, I'm going to change gears on you for a minute. I noticed this, news today is very confusing and convoluted. I never know what to believe. I don't know if you guys can correspond, can corroborate this. Do you guys have problems with the Pope or something? What's up with you guys and the Pope?
You guys?
Guys.
Yeah, no, he had something horrible to say.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's up with that? What happened?
It's breaking news. He must have listened to, read the lyrics and decided, it was very anti-Catholic Church.
What's it to me? Be banned by Pope.
Why? I just don't understand why he would do this. It just
more
makes no
importantly,
sense to me.
that
he doesn't have a sense of humor
with elite forces.
He doesn't have a sense of humor.
No,
I guess not. But this, listen, the only news I read at this point is the Weekly World News. So if it was printed there, it's got to be true.
It's got to be true. Yeah.
And more importantly, who's leaving beer cans on the moon? Like, what the hell is that?
Don't get
What
me
the
started.
hell is that? I just don't understand it. I don't get it.
Meisterbrow?
I don't get it. But you know what? I say we laugh in the face of the Pope, and if we're gonna stick it to the Pope, let's stick it to him right. I think the way that you can do that is you got to go to Pyrrhic Victory Records.
Pyrrhic Victory.
I can't say that word. You're going to have to say it for me. I just am terrible with it.
Just say PVR.
Let's take a look.
You're good.
PPR. Well, we can head over to PPR and we can stick it to the Pope.
PVR.
This is what you do. Look, you go to PVR, not PPR. We'll go to releases. You go to releases right here, right? Oh, crap. Why is my system messing up here?
Take off your pants.
Damn. Joe Pugsley wants me to take off my pants. I think that's rather inappropriate, Joe.
Mine are already off.
So. Take off your pants and stick it to the Pope with your PPR. No, we got a lot of stuff on here. Tell me a little bit about the label. We've talked about it a little bit in the past, but tell me a little bit more. Like, what's going on with the label lately, you guys?
Constantly churning out music. New Scary Hours.
I can see that.
New Scary Hours, new VOD.
Look at that. There's VOD right there. Okay. Give me 5 records you would recommend off of PVR besides all of them. Obviously the answer is all of them, but give me 5 off the top of your head that you think people should go and check out on PVR.
That's a loaded question.
Is it?
Somewhat.
All right, I'm going to pick. Ready?
You pick. I'll be honest with you. I haven't heard every single record on PVR, so I can't tell you exactly what to recommend. I would be,
They're all good. That Bug Martin is really good. This Alpha D, whatever, that's really good too. They're all good artists.
If you want diversity, like Hans said, Bug Martin. Okay. Get a
that
Bug Martin.
65's record's really good. The white one there with the.
Get a Bug Martin, get a 65s, get a VOD, get a Galanos, and get a Scary Hours. You've got 5 diverse records right there.
I'm going to pick based on album cover. As someone who's only listened to Voice of Doom, I'm going to pick based solely on album cover. Right off the bat, I'm going to go with our friend Tony Matura riding the Secret Subway. That's number 1. Because I like the way Tony has his arms crossed there. Okay. Number 2, definitely The Cost of Living, Scary Hours. Love this. Love this album cover. It's really upsetting, but also like sardonic, I guess, maybe.
Great one. Great record.
I'm going to pick Voice of Doom. Tell me more about the picture in this album cover here. I love this. Explain this to me.
I learned like a month ago that some other band used that same exact image. I couldn't believe it.
Son of a bees.
I know. They copied us.
I'm not sure who came first, but luckily they're a little more obscure than us. So.
What is the image of? It looks like a seance.
It's like a vintage seance image.
This picture is like 100 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool. And what about the font that you use for Voice of Doom on that? Is that a proprietary font, or is you just found that and we're like, yeah, that's a great font?
That was the same font as Black Sabbath's Born Again.
Get out of here.
Yeah, there's always
some little
some
subversive subversion. I'm going to pick Personality Crisis by the 65s. I'm guessing that's a cover.
Yep.
Dolls cover,
look at this one, Cousin of Death. What's the idea behind this album cover? It's very simple. It looks like a book of some kind. Can you explain that?
No.
Okay. No.
It's
fair enough.
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Okay. I respect that. And the last one I'm going to pick is this Scary Hours Live to Serve. Because
great record.
I just like the gummy letters. This looks like it was photographed and not photoshopped. And I just love, that's a lost art in this day and age. The photographed album cover, everything is photoshopped for obvious reasons. Who has a budget to do a photo shoot for your album cover?
Joe and I have a budget. That Live to Serve record might be the best album in the catalog.
Is it really?
It's so good.
Is it really?
Really good.
Okay. You hear that, people? Scary Hours, Live to Serve. I'm definitely going to check that out. Based on your recommendation, I'm going to check that out.
It's not what you expect. Sure.
And as you can see, the link was in the comments. I'm going to put it over here. Again, guys, just go explore the store. There's a lot of interesting music. It's just you don't see. I mean, you don't see record labels doing stuff like this in terms of just putting out diverse, interesting bands across the board. You know, it's really nice.
Across the world.
Really nice. Across the world. Exactly. How many countries are represented by PVR? Do you know off the top of your head?
Well, United States, obviously, France.
Mm-hmm.
And VOD did have the one split with the German label, so you can put Germany in there.
Okay.
I don't know where else. I think that might be it. Joe will probably chime in if there's more, if I missed one. That's all I can think of.
Let us know. He will let us know. He will let us know. What's currently on the agenda for Voice? We're just going to get the Voice of Doom stuff out of the way. What's currently on the agenda for Voice of Doom as of late? Shows, recordings, anything? What you got going on?
2 shows within the next half a year. we don't play out much.
One definite, one definite, one tentative. The definite one is in August.
Delaware, nice. The Horror Punks USA guys.
Very cool. Very cool.
Putting on a show in Delaware, and then Bowery Electric in October 9th.
I love the Bowery. I can't say that word. Bowery.
My buddy Drew Stone hooked us up.
Oh, did he?
I'm working with him on a coffee table book.
Are you really?
Hundreds, possibly thousands. I mean, edited down to hundreds of images, photographs, never before seen. 1977 London, you name it. Billy, Generation X, Susie and the Banshees, X-ray specs, images, Adam and the Ants. I mean, never seen before. This guy has literally thousands of chromes negatives that we scanned. And
wait, Drew Stone does, or some guy?
It Drew's dad's cameraman back in the day. Just was in London at the time, shot every show, and just put him in a drawer in a closet somewhere until he just gave him to Drew.
Wait a minute. Was there? Wait a minute. This is bands.
Yeah,
I've read about this. I've read about this guy. You're working on that. I've read about this.
He moved to South America. He'd retired, and he's like, you know what, Drew, your dad really hooked me up in my career. I'm passing this on to his son. You know. Okay.
Wait a minute. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I'm pretty sure I read about this on a photo blog that I follow, and he's just a dude who shot thousands and thousands of rolls of film of every band you could imagine. Some of them he didn't even label. And then what happened was the article was talking about how Kodak or somebody, there's subsidizing of getting this stuff developed because it costs a lot of money to get all this stuff developed. And this guy wrote into a foundation or something and was like, look, I got all these rolls of film. I can't afford to get them developed. What can you do? And so it's all getting developed. Is this the same project?
No, this guy had contact sheets and all the negatives already.
Okay.
So they weren't necessarily images. Nothing needed to be developed, I don't think.
Okay, interesting.
But could be.
That is is really cool. I can't wait to hear more about it. Is there a tentative title of the name of this book, or is it just is that all in the book?
No, not yet. It's being designed now.
And what is it that are you just because you're kind of like a meticulous archivist. Are you archiving? Are you doing your Photoshop layout stuff? What is your involvement, if you can say what it is?
I'm retouching all the photos. And
wow.
Yeah, meticulously, and they look phenomenal. It's going to blow people away. Never seen before.
And what goes into a process like that on a digital level? You're scanning it in, and then what is it that you're looking for when you're trying to touch it up or do something with it?
Well, you want nice contrast, not plugged up shadows, because you're going to print with inks, so it can't be plugged up or it can't be blown out. You need some kind of tone to hold the ink dot, and I convert that. I don't want to bore everybody, but you convert it to a long range black, so it doesn't print with a pink or a green hue. You want it nice and rich black.
Right.
So I'm cleaning all the schmutz out of all the scans. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of images.
Robbie Bloodshed can't wait, and Joe Pugsley says you're retouching meticulously. He's blowing it out, is what's being said. I'm sensing some innuendo here.
I will see you, Robbie, Friday night.
That's right. Robbie Bloodshed is going on tour, everybody, and he's got his tour routing is something that's gonna be a challenge, but Robbie has a lot of burning passion. He'll make it happen. He's playing all the way out to the Midwest. Go check it out. Go check out what Robbie is up to. And this Friday, where is it? What's the first show, Robbie? Let us know in the thing, and we'll put that up there.
It's on Houston. It's a club called the Late Late, right near Cass's Deli.
Is that a new place?
I think so, but it's probably changed names a bunch of times. But I just walked past it the other day just to see where it was exactly.
It's so sad. I feel like there's just so few clubs in Manhattan in general to play now. It's just really hard to play Manhattan if it's just like a little club date as opposed to maybe like a larger venue.
Yep.
Want to get back to VOD?
Sorry?
Are we getting back to Voice of Doom at some point? You said you wanted to get it out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, let's. We were talking about the Bowery show. And that brought me brought us to the Bowery Electric, and I was thinking
the new
about
CD is out.
Oh yes, right, the new CD. Tell us more about that. Let's hear it.
Well, the live thing kind of got pushed to the side for now.
Right.
Don't really want to get into it. It's boring, but the live stuff is on hold for various reasons. Blah blah blah. The studio stuff was supposed to be side 4 of the live record, because the record is called Alive Again, and we kind of based it off of Kiss Alive 2 with 3 live sides and 1 studio side.
Wow.
But that got held up, so we said, you know what, we had all this other stuff finished. What the hell is that?
Sorry.
We had all the other stuff finished, so Haim and I were talking one day, and he's like why don't we just put this out now? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's time. Let's just get it out there, because we've been sitting on it for a while. It was done a while ago. So that's it. So that, and plus nowadays, I know, Jeff, you and I talked about this, and I hear people talk about it all the time. People get bored with a lot of stuff. So what is it? 6 songs in 20 minutes or something?
That is the perfect.
People's attention. Hold people's attention. The first thing on the record isn't even really a song. It's just like a 30-minute intro, which we also had.
Whoa.
30 seconds.
Pause. 30 minute intro. 30 seconds.
I'm tired.
I was like, whoa.
30-second intro.
You've lost me. I'm out. 30 minutes.
30-second intro for the live stuff. It's called the first song is called Alive Again. It's not even really a song. It's a 30-second intro.
It's an intro track, yeah.
Right. And so then after that is 5 songs with 1 cover, and it's perfect. It comes in perfectly. It's very diverse.
Yeah.
Some faster stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some mid-tempo, some tempo change type stuff, kind of the way we've been going along now. And you're in and out, in a ride to work or something. So it's kind of, I'm very happy with it. I think it came out really well.
I just want to say that I think 20 minutes of music is the perfect amount. As Chris Farley says in the very famous Fresh and Pepper sketch from Saturday Night Live, why, thank you, Pepper Boy. That is the perfect amount of pepper. It's the perfect amount. That is a great sketch. Impression. That's a good sketch. It's the perfect amount of music, man. Just get me in, get me out. I'll tell you, one of my favorite records right now. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the band Dark Thoughts. I was talking about them the other day. They have 12 songs in 18 minutes. And I have, I'll listen to that record 3 times in an hour. I just love it so much. You know what I mean? Like, it just over and over and over again. I think there's something too. It's like, hey, we don't need an hour of music. Just have a sizzling 20 minutes of music and then have the listener flip, start the record over and want to listen to it again and again and again. So I think
hopefully that's what happens.
And
it was a happy accident. It was a happy accident, I think.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And it's my understanding that Kiss Alive too is like, amongst Kiss fans, that's like the golden like goose. Am I wrong? Is that like everybody loves Kiss Alive too?
Yeah, it's beloved.
I prefer Kiss Alive. The first
why?
one. I prefer why?
No. Why? Well, John, I'm sorry, John of Steele. Finish what you were saying before I answer why to Haim's question. Go ahead.
Kiss Alive 2 is probably where a lot of people like me, that was it for us for Kiss. Once after that came Dynasty, and like me, I was out at that point. So that's where I end with Kiss. So I've always felt like they reached the peak, and that was it. I love the album. I just prefer the first Alive album better because I just like those songs better.
Gotcha.
In my opinion.
And Haim, why is that? Why is that for Kiss fans? What you were about?
I think it was like the pinnacle of the height of their success. It was they were the biggest band in the land at that point. And I read lots of things online that people just can't say anything bad about that record. It was the crowd noise is like really high in the mix, so it sounds like really super exciting. And of course, side 4 has all new studio tracks, which were great tracks. So it had a little of everything.
Was I have a question. I have a question. Is Kiss 2 or is Kiss Alive 2 also is that also like, I know that Kiss Alive is not really live, right? Or like maybe just the drums are. This is like the secret truth about a lot of live records.
A lot of overdubs and
there's a lot of, but same thing on Alive too. It's not all completely live either. There's
right. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Both records were not totally 100%. And I've seen interviews with Paul Stanley where he's admitted that, overdubs and shit like that, and guitars out of tune and whatever else. So, but when we were 10, 11 years old, we didn't know that.
Right.
So to us, it's live. We hear it as a live record.
Ramones Alive. No, Ramones It's Alive is also a studio record. Mostly.
Well.
Just the drums, supposedly.
Just allegedly. The drums were live and everything else was overdubbed.
Allegedly.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And you know who else admitted to Loco Live? Marky Ramone has admitted that Loco Live is almost completely in the studio.
Really? That's interesting because I saw the Ramones and actually played with them, opened for them 3 times during that time period.
Yeah.
And then saw them as well. So that if that was in the studio, it was really, really good because it sounded like I remember seeing them live. Hearing them live sounded like Loco Live, like that. I felt like I was there because I had just seen them.
That's a testament. That's definitely a testament to the recording process.
If that was done in the studio, if that was fixed up in the studio, they did a great job of making it seem like it was live because the shows that I saw, and Haim was there for 1 or 2 of them too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they sounded like that on the record. So that was great.
Now, what's interesting, and that I believe it's been quoted, it's been said, that was the fastest the band ever would get. They got really fast when they lost Marky the first time and they brought in Richie Ramone. And then Richie Ramone took them up to a whole nother like tempo or pace. And then when I don't know when they recorded Loco live in 90, 89, maybe.
More like 91 or 2, I think it came out.
So at that point, alleged, I don't know where I remember reading this, that this was the peak speed of the Ramones. The Ramones were never faster than on Loco live.
Correct. Yeah.
You would agree with that. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was, they knocked it up speed wise, and that was it. They stayed there.
Now, here's an interesting question, and I'd love to hear both of your guys' opinion on this. We've talked on this channel a lot about, Joey's voice changes. I love both. First of all, I want to ask both of you, do both of you guys prefer one Joey's early style versus Joey's later style of singing? And two, what do you think was responsible for that change in Joey's singing?
Well, I know what you're saying, but to me it was pretty subtle. I mean, I think just aging,
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we could talk about Glenn's vocals from
Yeah.
77 till now. I mean, things change.
Also, his health got he had some health issues.
That's
that could have done it. I don't really see that big of a change in his voice, except that maybe the songs got
his delivery, man. No, his delivery changes, his phrasing changes. Personally, I think it might be the speed of the songs. I think the songs just got so fast.
Well, if you're talking about the live stuff from like Loco Live, he was basically spitting out the words. He wasn't. I'm talking about studio records.
I'm so sorry. I should clarify. I am referring to live. I'm talking about
voice
live.
Got better. I think Joey Ramone, to me, one of the best vocalists in rock music, without a doubt. A lot of people don't realize it.
Yep.
But he had a great voice, and I think he got better going forward. He definitely became a better singer. But live, trying to catch his breath,
right?
The songs got faster. He's not giving it all probably that he could, just trying to keep up with it. So that delivery definitely changed. But at that point, the Ramones are so iconic, I don't really think it mattered. He could have just stood up there and
I'm a big fan.
Anything.
I first of all, just to clarify, I was not talking about studio. I was referring to live only. That's number one. Number two, I love the way he's singing later live. I think it's very interesting. I think there is a change. I think there's a drastic change. I think all of those factors you said make sense. His health, the songs are getting faster. Joe said that he figured out how to sing. I do. I think he figured out how to phrase things differently, or was more economical in certain instances. I'm sure Haim being a vocalist himself knows, about having to conserve breath or whatever it is, when you're trying to, you got your voice is an instrument too. You got to pace yourself. You got to make sure you don't blow it out. Right. Haim, would you agree with any of those?
Also, don't forget one thing. As time went on, the Ramones worked with bigger producers, Daniel Ray.
Yep.
What's his name? Phil Spector.
Yep.
A lot of these people that came down the line knew he had a great voice, probably coached him, I don't know, on how to use his voice more melodically, whereas Tommy was, a good producer, but maybe he wasn't as in tune to stuff like that as other people may have been,
Very true.
That's my opinion. A good producer will come in, and producer's job is to come in and get the best best performances out of you. One of his jobs. So that could be a factor of it too.
But you're right. The speed of the live shows eventually didn't allow his voice to breathe.
Exactly.
He couldn't really.
Does anybody know why they decided to do that? I'm just curious. Because I don't know. I never heard any reason why they was it just to fit more songs in, or because they were tired of that tempo?
What? Oh, speed? My only guess,
to double their speeds at some point.
I'll tell you what I think.
Interesting choice.
I'll tell you what I think it was. I think it was I think it was two other factors. Factor number one, changing of drummers. When Richie comes in, and I think Richie was just a faster drummer. Plus Marky at the end, he was just he was booze. He was really into booze. which probably didn't help his performance on some level. Even if he was still solid, it probably was diminishing returns on that. So now Richie comes in the band. Richie plays so fast, and then that probably in turn informs Johnny, who's the kind of the band leader, right? He's in the sense of like bossing everybody around, telling everybody what to do. That informs that. And then here's the last element: competition. The Ramones, especially Johnny Ramone, were always in competition with the other bands. And so now he's going, we're not going to play harder than these bands, but we sure as shit can play faster than them. And it's true.
That's probably a big factor. Yeah.
Right. Like the faster we go.
It's an interesting point, but I did hear some live stuff with Clem Burke.
Yeah.
Elvis Ramone playing.
Yeah. Elvis Ramone, just for 2 shows.
Yeah. He wasn't the right drummer for the Ramones. Obviously.
Wasn't the right fit.
But as far as Marky goes, like I said, when I opened for them, 3 shows.
Yeah.
2 shows, Marky was spot on. 1 show, he was not. And if you're going to play that fast, he's got to hold it all together.
Right.
He didn't. 1 show, he just bad night. Everybody has it. He just didn't have it that night. And it wasn't as, when it was perfect, it was like a freight train. Forget it. Nobody could touch him.
Nobody.
But he was wonky that night. I'll put it that way.
Here's a funny story. My girlfriend, when she was a teenager, and a friend of hers were outside a Ramone show, and who they thought was Marky Ramone, he said, "Hey, you girls want to hang out? Like, come in the van and stuff, right?" And they were like, "Yeah, right." And he goes, "Actually, I'm not Marky. I'm his twin brother." And they were like, yeah, right. We know it's you, Marky." And they fucking went home and they found out that he does have a twin brother.
Get out of here. Listen, when he returned, obviously, and all the way up until even now, he's like a machine gun. He's just unreal. Marky Ramone is an unreal drummer. He's
very underrated drummer.
Unbelievably, like the strength that he has in his wrists, because he's not really
play that fast for so long.
But what's interesting, and Bill Stevenson from the Descendants and Black Flag is like this too, I think. These guys, they're power hitting, but they're not doing it with their arms. They're not not boombastic, man.
It's all in the wrist.
It's all in the wrist. It's power. They're power playing with their wrist. And Bill Stevenson, he has no frills. He's not.
Maybe my favorite drummer of all time.
Oh, just Haim. Dude, I'm with you on that. He's just, I could sit and watch Bill Stevenson play for hours. And when Flag came to Irving Plaza, that's exactly what I did. I wasn't watching Keith Morris. I wasn't watching Dez or anybody. My eyes were fixed on Bill Stevenson, just so powerful and so precise with his hits.
So technical, yeah.
Oh, unbelievable drummer. Just doesn't move any part of his body except his head. His head nods.
Right, yeah.
He does his head nod, and then his arms will move a little bit, and then
all does an impression of him.
Yeah. And then all the power is in the wrist. Just unreal. Unfreaking real. But that's interesting. That's really kind of that's kind of profound. It's just one of those musicians that are just not appreciated for their gifts in that kind of way.
Stevenson has always been one of my favorites too. He's got a very interesting style, economical, cymbals really low, snare drum really high. He's got it. Frankenstein played at the Warped Tour with Descendants and Social Distortion with the 2 headliners, and I got to stand right behind Bill Stevenson.
Wow!
And to see his movements, but don't forget Stevenson in the Descendants. Everything he wrote, he was part of the song writing, so he wrote around that style. The song, either he wrote the songs or the songs were arranged with him. So very highlighting of his style. In Flag, he took those songs and made them his, which in my opinion is a great musician to be able to play. You listen to the live Flag stuff with Keith Morris and Stephen Edgerton and stuff. Same songs that were on Damaged. Listen to Robo playing, and now listen to Stevenson playing them. Stevenson has made the songs his own style. Same songs, but just come across differently with his drumming. My opinion, and he's paying homage to Robo in a lot of ways, but you can tell it's Stevenson. That's what makes him great, in my opinion.
Now, here's my question for you both: did you guys see when we had the dueling flags in 2013? Did you see? I
think I was at the same show as you, Irving Plaza. I saw a flag
with TSOL and flag. Yeah. Okay. So and Uncle Jerry was there. Jerry only was there.
That's right.
And in full regalia, probably because of Dez. Did you guys also see Black Flag on when they were touring, when they came to town?
No.
I saw some live videos. It was awful.
I saw some live videos too, and it was awful. And here's what's interesting: everybody says, and we cover this extensively in our Black Flag beef drama videos, but everybody says that Greg Ginn is Black Flag. And I'll tell you something: after seeing Flag, I think that it just goes to show you that even if you're like the founder and sole songwriter and yada yada yada, if you don't have the heart of your band with you, then it doesn't matter, because all those other guys, they were the heart of the band. And that's why people always chose Flag over Black Flag, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget Dukowski. I mean, his
Dukowski is
the heart, the nucleus,
without
heart.
a doubt. I mean, you gotta have Dukowski,
right?
What's funny is Edgerton obviously was a Greg Ginn fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know his name off the top of my head, but the guitar player of Blast, also a huge Greg Ginn disciple. I thought that he would have been perfect. Jeff, are you familiar with Blast at all?
I'm
California?
not. I am not at all.
Blast.
What is something I should listen to? Give me a record to recommend. Better yet, text it to me after the show, because I will forget. Text it to me for real. I'll listen to it.
Blast was definitely a child of Black Flag. They came out in the 80s. They were on SST. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
And they've kept the same singer and guitar player. Now, the latest I saw was Nick Oliveri was playing bass.
Okay. Know him from the Dwarves.
And Joey Castillo playing drums. Okay. Guitar player plays the same guitar as Ginn. Okay, plays the Dan Armstrong clear.
Right, the clear acrylic.
Singer, totally doing the Rollins thing, bald head, big guy. The Power of Expression, which I believe is their first album, is my favorite one. I'll text it to you. But Edgerton was great. I think the guitar player of Blast would have been better in that situation because he was a lot more raunchier. If you hear it, you'll know what I mean.
Okay.
Greg Ginn, over the years and the videos that I saw, just totally like once he cleaned up his guitar tone and started doing that later stuff. And I love Stevenson, and I know Haim's gonna hate me for saying this, but I just cannot stand Kira playing bass with Flag.
How dare you?
Dukowski and Ginn together, that to me that's Flag. And that's it. It would make total sense to me. If you see those live Flag videos, they're still going for it. Dukowski, even at his age, is still going. Keith Morris, what a voice in his 60s, blowing it out like he was 20 years old again. Okay,
I think Off is one of the greatest bands to come out.
And
I have not listened.
Same example.
Off. Hey, Rue Moore, could you handle that? Could you handle that, Rue Moore? If you know what I'm talking about.
The Black Flag stuff is just delivered so wimpy sounding. I'm amazed that Ginn let that happen. But
what, later on? You mean later on?
The later Black Flags,
oh
Black
my God.
Flag.
There's
no balls.
Goofy. It's
no
just
balls
goofy.
to it.
Oh my Lord. It's like,
whereas
it's
Flag
atrocious.
still had balls. Flag still had balls. Black Flag did not.
But you want to know something? You know what it is? It's ego. It's pure ego, because here's a guy who thinks I am the soul of this band, and all you need is me and 3 other Joes, and then all of a sudden we're going to be Black Flag, as opposed to all of these dudes who may not have written the songs, but are, as especially around Dukowski, who was there from the very beginning, who was I don't know if he was the co-founder, but he definitely was the co-owner.
He wasn't there at the very, very beginning.
Almost at the very beginning.
Spot was actually the first.
Right. Spot. Well,
player.
Actually, his brother Raymond was the first bassist.
That's true.
I think.
Good point.
Technically,
but he was there. He was there early enough to be considered the one of the.
Those are Diane DiPiazzas, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Those are Diane DiPiazzas. No offense to Diane. We love you, Diane. But Rue Morgue, I don't know if you see what I'm talking about in over there. Can you please take care of that though?
Rue, get him.
Get him, Rue.
The hell is that?
I don't know, but let's not talk about it. Let's just keep going.
Somebody running onto the field. Let's not show
somebody had an embolism in the chat, but it's absolutely unacceptable. And I don't want that in my chat. So let's get rid of it if possible, if you can. Assuming that he is there or anybody with a wrench next to their name. Yes, Walter. I'm deputizing Walter. Walter White of New Zealand. He's here so often. He should be deputized as well. Hold on one second.
John and I always disagreed about My War Side 2.
Okay, refresh my memory. Refresh my memory about My War Side 2.
You hate it, I love it. Is that the?
Yeah. I don't hate it.
I love it. You hate it?
I don't need to listen to it ever again. Yeah.
Is that the spoken word?
Side 1 is great.
No.
I know you and my ex loved Side 2.
My War Side 2 is one of the great. See, that was punk as fuck in my opinion. Black Flag with Stevenson, just the three of them, taking it completely the opposite, doing a total 180 and slowing it down to grindingly slow pace. But when you listen to it, it makes you want to destroy your house like that. It's that.
Wait, you're talking about My War Side 2?
My War Side 2. Okay. 3 songs.
Track listing here.
3 songs. Okay.
With
all
spoken,
very similar.
Yeah.
There's no spoken word on that record. All very similar, all very slow, all like over 5 minutes long. But it's not fast at all. It's completely dead slow, but it's as chaotic and as destructive sounding as any of the fast stuff. To me, that was a great step. I didn't think that they should stay like that. I thought that little bit of it was good. They started to get progressively slower. Probably, I know they say that Greg Ginn became like a really big pothead or something at the time, or maybe he always was.
Actually, you know what I think it was? I have a theory about that. I have a theory. I think, yeah.
What was it? I didn't hear that.
Nailed it, John.
He's a deadhead.
He's a deadhead, bro. He's a deadhead.
Okay. Yeah.
And listen. Very few people know this about me. I actually have a deep appreciation for the Grateful Dead on a certain level. I can appreciate. I like the Dead. Here's what's interesting though. You have this pothead, friggin' prolific guitar player whose fingers can't stop moving. His fingers cannot stop moving on the whatever, what is it? The fret, the neck, whatever, fretboard, I guess. And
grandma.
And he's listening to the Grateful Dead and he's smoking pot. Of course that, and it's Black Flag. So what does it turn into? Whatever you want to call it, the sludge. That's the result. That's like the Ramones, as we always say. That's the Ramones saying, "Hey, I want to write a Beach Boys song," and then doing Sheena as a punk rocker. Greg Ginn listens to Grateful Dead, and you get latter age Black Flag.
Yeah, but nothing of the Grateful Dead ever sounded like that.
No. But that, I mean, it gets put through his computer, and it comes out as sludge. But it's the same sort of improvisational jamming that the Grateful Dead are synonymous with, right?
Maybe, or it could just be that he wanted to just completely blow people's minds too.
Well, I mean, I would say, 3 songs. They're all 6 minutes long. One of them is 6 minutes and 44 seconds. One of them, and this is what's interesting. 2 of these songs are co-written by Greg Ginn and Henry Rollins. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, Rollins probably wrote
just the lyrics.
Yeah,
he doesn't play any instruments.
And it's very off the cuff because there's not even like a lot of lyrics. A lot of it, like the song "Scream," which I believe is the last one, he's just doing
7 minutes.
He's just doing a lot of screaming.
7 minute song. Okay, so My War is a great song. I Love You is a great song. Beat My Head Against the Wall is a good song. I mean, it's a mixed bag. This album is a mixed bag for me a little bit.
A lot of misses on that album for me. A lot of misses.
Family Man.
Can't Decide is a great song.
Let's see what's on Family Man. No, not this one. Not this one. Maybe it's Slip It In.
That's a great record.
Yeah, Black Coffee is on there. Sure. You're Not Evil. No, I'm looking for maybe Loose Nut.
Come on.
Loose Nut has the song Loose Nut is a great song. Annihilate This Week, Modern Man. And then the Process Weeding Out. And pretty soon it was just, they weren't even, Henry Rollins was not even singing. In My Head is a good song. The title track, In My Head, is a good song.
Not bad.
I like that song. That's
not bad.
Song.
There's a video out there. It's a Target video. I've seen it it's on YouTube. Black Flag doing Scream, the song Scream in Mike Muir's garage.
Yeah.
And it's Stevenson playing drums, but it's still with Dukowski and Dez. So it's the five of them. So it must have been right after Biscuits left the band and Stevenson joined. You should check that out.
It's called Scream?
The song is called Scream. It's on side 2 of My War. And there's a video of them in Mike Muir's garage playing it. And Henry's he's not even singing. He's just screaming and staring wildly at people. And it's a very rare lineup of them. With
and you know what else is interesting? There's that record called Minute Flag, which is the Minutemen and Black Flag combined. And I believe it was never to be released until both bands broke up. And that's what happened in 1986. D Boon died and Black Flag broke up, and then they released Minute Flag on SST.
That's interesting.
There you go. Yes, we're talking about Scream. Apparently PVR has you guys playing at Cat's Deli in August with the Pastrami brothers.
Oh man,
I had dinner with Judge Judy there one time. I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this real? Is this?
Send him the pitch. Show him the.
Oh,
pictures.
now you're gonna have to explain to me why you were eating pastrami with Judge Judy. How did that come about?
She invited me. She invited me to dinner.
Why? Why? Okay, this is you're messing with me.
No, Haim and I were in there eating one time, and she was in there, and I sat down and took a picture. It's me, Judge Judy, and about 20 pickles. Pretty interesting.
Oh my God! But you literally, if you just saw Judge Judy and you were standing in line, and then you said, "Hey, let's go sit at a table next to Judge Judy," and then you could have the bragging rights and saying
she was with her husband.
That we ate, yeah, but you could be like, yeah, we ate.
We had dinner together. Yeah,
we had dinner with Judge Judy.
Me and Haim ordered a $60 pastrami sandwich and couldn't finish it.
Oh my God, it was really $60.
I don't know.
It was so insane.
It was a lot.
They do that. It's a healthy portion.
They pile it on there. They pile it on.
It's a healthy portion at Katz's Deli. Still going strong over 100 years. God bless. Mm-hmm. May they never go. One of the few things left in New York City. Everything is just disappearing.
It's so sad.
Becoming a Starbucks.
You know what's crazy? I went to CBGB's the last 3 years of its existence. And I thought that when that closed down, I was like, wow, what the end of an era for New York, music culture. And then look at us now, almost 20 years later. It's just, there used to be so much more, and it's all gone now. The entire...
Yeah, you know what, I think CB's had really outrun its usefulness by that point anyway. I think it closed, and that's it. Let's just remember it the way it is. People have this romanticized view of CBGB's,
mm-hmm.
and the first time I was there was in 1983 to play there,
mm-hmm.
and it was declining at that point. It had peaked and was just kind of on its way down at that point.
It was already disgusting.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't. I was like, wow, I'm gonna play at CBGB's. The famous rock club, and there's 5 people there. The bathrooms are disgusting, and it's not that really matters to me, but it was like, yeah, all right, it was just an old dirty club. Like, I know it was legendary. There was some legendary things that happened there, but people would come to New York and expect to see the Ramones there or something, and it's just like, no, that's done with, man. Let's just
I understand what you're saying, but here's the thing: as someone who grew up later than you guys, like, for me,
to you, it's got historical legendary status. You look at it with different eyes than
absolutely. I read this book.
Yeah.
Right. I read this book, and then I start going into the city, and I start going to this club, and obviously it's far from its glory days, but to me it's like it's going to a temple of hallowed halls, seeing where all this incredible music happened, and just being in that place. My friend's band would play there all the time, and then seeing TSOL there and seeing the Bad Brains there and stuff like that. It just I was glad to have that experience, and now it's gone. It's just completely gone. It's just so.
We were also at the 45 Grave show together, right?
That was I wasn't there at the CBGB's one, but I was there at in Brooklyn at Europa, maybe. I think in 2010 is when last time I saw 45 Grave.
I saw a lot of good shows at CB's too, and I definitely respected it for its history, but things tend to get a lot more like bigger in our memory than they are at the time. I
get it.
You know that?
I get it.
So yeah, I mean, I think a lot could be said for someone, Chris Berwin put City Gardens, another great club.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. I saw Sam Hain there. We saw the first Danzig show there, so that also has a lot of memory for us. Yeah,
I mean, if you've ever used the CBGB bathroom, you're immune from the coronavirus.
I am proudly could say that I've used the CBGB bathroom. That was
one of the funny story, a little funny story that my sister loves to tell over and over again, is that when she came to CBGB's to see me play when I was like 15 or 16, she said when she got home, she didn't even put her clothes in the washing machine. She just threw them completely out. She didn't use she didn't use the bathroom. She went down to look at it, didn't use it, decided to hold it all night, and didn't have a drink, didn't want to touch anything from the bar.
Right.
Then came home, threw her clothes out, and that was it. Done.
Someone's asking, Archduke Ramon is asking, isn't CBGB's now an upscale fashion shop? What it is, this guy who I guess is like a fan of punk or something. He's like a clothing designer guy, John Varvatos. He bought CBGB's. He bought it. What they did was they stripped out a bunch of stuff and they actually saved it. It exists somewhere. They were going to open up CBGB's in Las Vegas, which is, isn't that just the funniest thing you ever heard, that there would be some tourist version of CBGB's. And eventually they did do it in Newark Airport, I believe. There's a CBGB's sort of like restaurant.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I saw that once.
Yeah, it
That's
exists.
when you know it's over, though, man. That's when you know it's over.
Well, I mean, that was years after CBGB's was gone. But what he did was, and I will give him credit. Yes, it's a high scale like fashion place, and it's kind of lame. But you know what's kind of cool? The guy who bought the place out from Hilly, or whoever Hilly was renting from, he preserved the walls, most of the walls. You can walk in there. He left enough of CBGB's around that for anybody who will never get to experience it or see it, you can go to 315 Bowery and you can at least look at the walls and sort of imagine what it was like. And also somebody took photos, 3D photos of the entire layout. You can actually take a tour of CBGB's through like a Google Maps sort of thing. If you just want to see what the layout looked like. You can't do that from Access Kansas City. So I thought that was pretty special that someone did that, for the kid who was born in 2002 and is super into punk rock and just wants to see a place that they'll never be able to visit. I mean, I think that's nice, considering. But everything's gone that way. Bleecker Bob's is gone. Freaking Sounds is gone. Trash and Vaudeville is, I think, moved, but Jimmy Webb is gone. It's just sad, man. It's just that, Tunnel Time gonna lose you for a bit. Rue is going through the tunnel. I think Rue's on a bus right now listening to the show. I bet the original toilet is not at the airport. I bet you the toilet at the airport is just as dirty as the toilet in CBGB's. Did you guys ever go to that read the third generation of Max's Kansas City in the 90s? It like briefly popped up.
No, somewhere on like the west side.
Something like that. They tried to do it one more time. It fizzled out. And of course there was we just lost Howie Pyro. Rest in peace, Howie Pyro. Him and Jesse Malin had the club Coney Island High.
Coney Island High, yeah. That was a good place.
You spent some time there?
Played there a couple times, yeah. Yeah, there was the upstairs and the downstairs. That was and our friend Dean Carizzi, that was the singer of Backseat Driver that I was in for years. He was a part owner too. They had a lot of silent partners.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. That whole lot is leveled now. The McDonald's is gone and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Coney Island High was pretty good. I always
Continental is gone too.
I like Continental. I like brownies.
Yeah.
Like Continental's leveled?
Yeah.
Gone. Completely disappeared.
Oh, there was a McDonald's next. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
There was a McDonald's next to it, right on the corner.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? You know how you could tell when someone ever brings up the Ray's Pizza right on that corner on the across the street.
Yeah.
But someone's like, "Oh yeah, Ray's Pizza, that's the best pizza in New York." And I always just laugh. I'm like, that's not the best. Come on.
No, Ray's wasn't really that same. St. Mark's Pizza was the one next to Continental. St. Mark's Pizza, right?
On the opposite side?
No, right on the corner. If you're standing in front of Continental.
Pizza.
No, Ray's Pizza was on the opposite corner. If you're standing in front of Continental,
Yeah.
just to your right was St. Mark's Pizza. And then next to that was the little bodega on the corner. The opposite side,
right.
The opposite side of
Yes.
St. Mark's Place was where Ray's was.
Right, which has been there for,
that's been there forever.
Forever. And maybe it will be there forever. Although I thought Gem Spa, considering that the Gem Spa awning, I think is gone now as well, which is really sad. And for those of you who don't know,
it's Gem Spas now.
Right.
The best pizza is Joe's or Percy's in the West Village.
Joe's is great. You know what I really like? It's kind of a novelty, but I just really enjoy it. Is artichoke. It's gotten and they've really increased their prices, but that artichoke slice is just it's heaven. It's really good. And the crab slice too. I don't know if you ever tried the crab slice. It's really good. Good. Come on, John.
No way.
Like Lodi.
I like other pizzas besides Lodi. I'm not just a Lodi snob. I just don't like. I don't like stuff like that on pizza. To me, it's not pizza.
I think you could put. I didn't. Oh, you know what? I should ask both of you the question because both of you have technically not been on this version of the show, and we have Walter White, who is all the way down in New Zealand, guys. He's saying, "Can you describe a real pizza? Well, he said can you describe a real U.S. pizza to a Kiwi?" That's what he's asking. So he's a Kiwi down in New Zealand. He wants to know what a real U.S. pizza is like. What do you guys think?
Well, people in New York are going to say that New York has the best pizza. People in Jersey are going to say it's just as good as New York. Nobody on the East Coast likes the Chicago deep dish pizza.
Yes.
And in California, you can't get a good slice of pizza. It's just a tomato pie. If you want cheese, you got to ask for cheese. It's like, who wins? Who's the winner? Who's the best? Nobody. It's personal
New York
taste.
is the best.
Taste.
No, New York is the best.
That's because you're from New York. I've had better pizza in Jersey, and I lived in New York, and I've had better pizza in Jersey than in New York.
To be
fair,
fair,
it's all personal opinion.
It is, but is pizza?
I'm passionate about pizza.
So am I. Is pizza punk? That's my question to both of you. Is pizza punk? But is it punk? Why is it punk if it is punk? Or why is it not punk and your answer is subjective. Whatever you're going to say is valid. I'm not here to tell you you're right or wrong. Go ahead.
I think it's punk because, what's his name said the other night, it's cheap, and when you're a young punk hanging out in the village, that's what that's what you can afford, and you're listening to punk rock, and Sal's Pizza was in Little Ferry, New Jersey, was probably one of my favorite pizza places, and we'd be playing Asteroids with like Dead Kennedys in the background, and I'm eating a crust while I'm playing Asteroids. So to me, it's nostalgic in that sense. And if you're gonna assign a food to punk rock, I mean, what else could it be, really? But I think John disagrees.
Oh, let's hear it.
Totally
let's hear it.
I disagree. I don't think pizza's punk.
Ooh,
not at all. They serve pizza to elementary school kids on Fridays for a pizza party. My sister's retirement home has pizza party night on Saturday. I don't think it's a punk food. In my opinion, what would have made pizza punk is if at the Pollywog Park Black Flag show, Keith Morris would have done a stage dive off the stage into somebody's pizza. Then to me, it would have been punk. Or if those people in the park would have picked up their pizzas and thrown them at that would have been punk. I may cause an uproar with your audience. I just don't feel pizza is a punk food.
I said.
Well, hold on. That being said, I know that pizza has become symbolic. Lodi pizza has become symbolic with the Misfits and all that other type of stuff. I don't feel that it is a punk food. You want to talk about a punk food? I don't know. Grilled cheese sandwich because you're poor, or a can of
that's a Grateful
soup.
Dead food right there.
I don't feel that pizza as a food is punk.
Baked beans could be punk.
Said my piece.
Listen, as I said, I'm not going to chastise you for whatever your answer is. It is subjective, and you are entitled to your opinion. My favorite answer thus far on the whole show is the idea. Someone said, I forget who, they said pizza. The reason why pizza is punk is because you have three things. You have dough, sauce, and cheese, and you have three chords. To make like punk rock, and therefore
cereal could be punk rock. It's cereal and milk.
Yeah, cereal.
Two chords.
Yeah,
2 chords. Come on.
Yeah, I love it. I love that you just said that. I love it.
Cereal's even more punk rock. It's 2 chords. You don't even need the 3.
Jeff, for your serial killer show,
let's see it.
I got a cereal you need to try.
Oh my God, I love
Voice of Doom cereal.
Did you put? You put cereal in there?
This is a fan made thing. John, who's this guy again?
His name. I sent that to you one time,
Wait,
Jeff.
Yeah, sent that to me.
Yeah, his name was Harry Hands.
Yeah.
Oh, Harry.
Robert Travieso. He was an artist from Yonkers, as a matter of fact. He was from Yonkers or the Bronx.
That's right. That's
older
right
man
over there.
Yeah. Have not. He had some health issues. He was a FedEx driver by trade. I had not seen him for many years, but he loved cereal boxes, and I commissioned him to make one for Voice of Doom, and he was more than happy to make it. Didn't charge me anything. He was just extremely happy to do it, and there you go.
Let me tell you something. We actually talked about John of Steele and I were going back and forth about this, and the idea of doing a like merch style pizza box, cereal box, and stuffing it with whatever cereal that you're like. You can take whatever, just take the bag out and stick it in your own, which I think is technically illegal, but who's going to stop you? And here's the thing. You could put a prize in it. Like, let's say if you're a filmmaker, you put your DVD in it, or if you're in a band, you put your record in it, your 7-inch or whatever. And it's like, it's just a fun little, a fun collector's item. Imagine if we had Danzigos or Danzig Woes, and it came with like Blackest of the Black cereal or something, deep with Demon Blood crunch berries, and it had like some single in it, and and Danzig. There's like a Danzig word search on the back or something or whatever. That stuff is fun, man. That stuff is just so much fun. I love it. Are you guys fans of? Are you with me on the death to soggy cereal, or are you all about soggy cereal?
I hate soggy cereal.
I
hate it.
I would rather it crunchy, but if I was taken away for some reason, we came back to it, I would eat it soggy.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
That's it. Shows up.
I'm not picky. I'm not picky.
My wife loves when the cereal gets soggy.
She'll
put extra milk in just to make it soggy. And the other side of the coin, which we've talked about before, Kevin Lacatina, no milk in his cereal. Just with his hands.
He says milk is disgusting on a cereal.
On a cereal. I told you this.
Cereal.
He eats it out of the bag. So you have two complete no right or wrong way to eat cereal, my friends. It is the perfect food. There you go.
You're right.
True.
The oat milk or the cashew milk is
good.
Oh,
F that. No way.
No. It really is.
No.
You gotta try the oat milk, John.
No.
Try the oat milk. I'll tell you why.
I tried it. My one daughter drinks oat. That's all she drinks is oat milk.
That's awesome.
It's disgusting in cereal. I can't do it. So it's got to be cold whole milk. That's it.
I can't. Before,
if you're lactose intolerant or something, I get it. Okay, then to me, no other way.
If I'm gonna have dairy, it's gonna be whole milk. However, I have grown to love like extra creamy oat milk is like heaven. It's really, really great, and I don't feel guilty about drinking the milk after I'm done. I can't do that. I can't drink whole milk. I can't drink milk. I could put milk in my coffee. I can't
drink it as a beverage.
Oh my God, I can't. Like I will die.
Really?
I will die. Yeah.
What does it really go as a beverage with? Cookies and milk. Okay.
I guess.
I'm not going to eat spaghetti.
Coffee and cookies. Coffee and cookies. And you put milk in your coffee. I'll put milk in my coffee.
I'm not going to have broccoli with milk as a side.
Oh my God.
So, milk has to go.
That's weird. That is a weird combination.
Milk with pancakes, milk with apple pie.
Okay, maybe apple pie.
Worst was when you had like Oreo cookies and someone gave you juice.
Well, that's weird. What are you gonna dunk your cookies in orange juice? Although you know who's a nut? Okay, Jeff Goldblum is a nutty guy, and I love Jeff Goldblum. But Jeff Goldblum used to put orange juice in his cereal, right?
Whoa.
Instead of milk. Okay, here's the thing though. He used to pour orange juice into his cornflakes, and according to John of Steele, there's no wrong way to eat cereal, so that's perfectly valid according to John of Steele.
Yes.
However,
cereal.
Tropicana, and this will be of interest to both of you guys. Tropicana is releasing a cereal especially designed for orange juice. It's meant for orange juice.
Interesting.
And so I imagine the fortitude is going to be extra strong to stand up to the.
You know what? That
juice.
really doesn't surprise me. I mean. Orange is a fruit. It's fruit juicy. I mean, you probably could have put like Fruit Loops or Apple Jacks with orange juice. And it might be a little odd tasting at first, but maybe you develop a taste for it. Who knows?
I'll tell you, cornflakes are really good if you have a piece of salmon. I love salmon. If you're going to eat salmon, you could put cornflakes or goldfish crackers, or you could put Cheez-Its crumbled on top and make a crust.
Yeah.
And it's really good. It has a really nice texture. My wife, she likes to make chicken schnitzel, which is just like really flat, pounded out, like fried chicken, whatever things. She'll use cornflakes for that. That's really special. It's supposed to be pork. That's what a German schnitzel is. You use cornflakes and you just pound it out and
as
it's
a crust.
As a crust, and it's really good. It's just a really good, crispy, crunchy crust. I'm a big fan. But you could do it with anything. You could theoretically do it with Fruit Loops. I don't know if you want to put it on salmon.
What's your guys' feelings on oatmeal?
Oh, I love oatmeal.
I love oatmeal, but it has to be like the peaches and cream variety, like that kind of oatmeal with cream. I will eat apple cinnamon oatmeal and the maple oatmeal, but like if it's just like
when there's one bag left and it's raisins and spice, you're like,
oh yeah, I just throw that out. I just throw that out. God,
I have it
that
almost
is like,
every morning with orange juice and coffee. My oatmeal.
What about farina?
Oh,
That's
man.
the thinking man's oatmeal.
What
No.
is it?
Farina. That's
Well,
the
Never heard of
thinking
it.
man's oatmeal.
I used to have cream of wheat and cream of rice when I was
Cream
a kid.
of wheat is good. Cream of wheat is good. I
think
would
I
do
have
that.
it here somewhere.
You know, the honest truth is, my favorite style of breakfast, I'm just like, I like your classic breakfast. Some eggs, some bacon, some hash browns. And what I do is, well, if I'm not cooking the eggs, if someone's making me eggs, I'm even worse than soggy cereal is burnt eggs. If the eggs are burnt, brown, or crispy, I will throw up all over the place. I'll just vomit everywhere. Same thing with soggy cereal. Soggy cereal literally triggers my gag reflex. If I even smell it, I will just throw up everywhere.
Wow.
So yeah, I have a very strong reaction to these things. So
I like when my eggs are a little burnt. I don't like them.
Oh my God. Oh, stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
I like them over hard.
I like literally will vomit right now. Like you
don't like them over hard. You like them over.
Are you joking or are you serious?
No, I'm serious. I like them. I like them a little.
I like
little
poached
brown.
eggs. I need my eggs to be poached.
Do
if
that.
I don't know you, if I'm in a diner and Flo comes to take my order, I'm gonna say, may I please have some poached eggs? I crack the runny yolk over the hash browns, and then mix it all together, and then eat that, and then. If I have some toast, I'll go to work. I'll put some butter, jelly, put the bacon on top, make a little sandwich.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's just, and then, you know, you have black coffee. And then maybe if you're at a Waffle House and you got a side of pancakes, then you take down the pancakes. It all depends. It depends on
I was at
situation.
Waffle House when we went to Texas. We ate at Waffle House twice, and I had the grits 2 times, and I love salty, buttery. They were great. My wife didn't like them. I liked them. Grits at Waffle House is great. Jeff, do you ever have grits?
Yes, I like grits. I have
instant
no problem
grits.
With grits.
I've instant
had
grits.
I've had both.
No self-respect in Southerner uses instant grits.
I've had instant grits, and I've had grits that were made in Waffle House. Those are the 2 types I've tried.
I put milk and sugar on my grits, and that's frowned upon.
Well, no, I've had them with sugar and butter, and
you can kiss.
I didn't have anything with milk. Huh? Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking for something up here. Hold on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Lizzie says a full Irish breakfast, and I want to ask Lizzie Graves, what constitutes a full Irish breakfast? You have to tell me. I'm obviously guessing that includes
like a shot of whiskey or something.
Like black pudding. I know Walter White is talking about black pudding right underneath. Hold on. He says, have you guys ever tried black pudding with your bacon and eggs? So here's the thing.
I thought I had an old cream of wheat box here. I don't. I'm sorry.
Black pudding is, in theory, in mentality, black pudding is absolutely like disgusting, but tastes delicious. I've tasted it. It tastes really, really good. But when you think about what it is, and basically it's coagulated blood. That's what it is.
Oh,
in a cake. It's called blood. It's just literally coagulated blood. That's what you're eating. There's nothing else that constitute it. And, it just, again, tastes really good, very savory, but hard to eat when you're thinking about what it is, in my personal opinion.
You know what's the greatest breakfast of all time?
What? I just said it already. Carnation. Oh, wow.
Makes milk a meal, coffee flavor. So you got your milk, your coffee, and your breakfast all in one box. Could these kids be wrong? They can't be wrong.
Is that new? Do they still make that?
Definitely.
No, it's 59 cents.
It's old.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at this. Yeah. Okay, this is fucking hilarious, and I can't ignore this. Guys, do you see this in the chat? This is amazing.
What the hell?
I can't even be. How could what the fuck? Wow, somebody wants attention, man. This is too funny. Oh, I gotta screenshot this. This is friggin' hilarious.
Jeff eats what the hell?
Who is this other Jeff Frumess? My lord, somebody literally made another YouTube account just so they could post this in the chat. I am flabbergasted, absolutely flabbergasted. Oh wow. That is something I've never seen before. Amazing. Wow. Definitely fried, obviously. I would imagine. Yeah. So that is that just happened. That was interesting. Thanks, Walter White. Yes, I agree. Lizzie says that takes a lot of time and energy. You're absolutely right. That took a lot of time and energy to go and to make a YouTube name just for that purpose. And I don't know, man. I guess I take up a lot of space in someone's head in order for them to do it. Yeah, nothing better to do. I could guess, actually. I could guess off the top of my head. Also. I know, John, if you're guessing who I'm guessing, you know.
Yeah.
You know. Yep. That I won't be the first time either. This has happened before. That's really funny. Whatever. It is what it is. Let's carry on with our conversation, shall we? Oh, we have to hold on. Let's do a quick sponsor break while we're here.
Yeah, right. Stickers.
Sponsors. RideStickers.com. Right. Listen, I swear I have something coming for both of you guys. I just have not had the time to put it together. I have your addresses. Just expect something. I'll let you know when it goes out. It's going to happen. Guys, we have buttons. We have stickers here. All made by RiotStickers.com. They are the official sponsors of the Frumess channel. They printed up this beautiful banner behind me. Can you see it? It says Frumess on it. We're currently running a contest with them. Basically, if you need 20 custom t-shirts, you can enter into a raffle. It's free to enter. You can enter into a raffle, and we're going to pick one winner on June 1st, and they will be awarded 20 free custom t-shirts with any image you want. So if you want to print Jeff Frumess saying the comment that was in this thing, I'm not going to say it out loud. I'm going to just put it on the screen. If you want to print this on a t-shirt, I mean, I really would rather you not, but it would be really funny. If you did, it would be kind of funny. Yes, Lizzie Graves, you might be right. It could be Chud. I don't think it's Chud. I don't think Chud has enough brain cells to create a screen name called Jeff Frumess. I think it's someone else, to be honest with you. In any case, you could put whatever you want on a t-shirt, and assuming that Sharpie Riot is willing to print it, they will send it to you free. It's free shipping inside the country. Okay. And you just go to riotstickers.com/win, WIN. That's it right here. It's right in the little ticker tape. Look in the description below. We're also still running the special deal with riotstickers.com. Use the promo code Frumess, like the name of the channel, for 50% off. I'm going to play our 60-second little video written by the guy in Less Than Jake. Hold on 1 second.
Hi, I'm a guy from riotstickers.com, the merch company known for being the bomb. Do you hate going to work,
but like getting paid?
Do you hate snow,
but want to make sweet, sweet love to a snowman?
That was unexpected. All right, what about this? Do you hate paying for stuff, but like having custom t-shirts? You are in luck. We can't help with the snowman thing. That's probably going to take a therapist, but riotstickers.com is giving you a chance to win a free order of custom shirts. And entering is easier than
making sweet, sweet.
Get her out of here. All you have to do is simply go to riotstickers.com/win and enter your name and email address. Riot Stickers will have a random drawing to pick a winner. So head to riotstickers.com/win for your chance to win free custom shirts. And be sure to check out other custom merch while you're there, because it is the bomb.
Riotstickers.com, Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. Riotstickers.com, Riot Stickers, we are the bomb.
All right, we are back. Lizzie Graves thinks it's the anti-Semite that was on here when I was doing the Nosferatu show, that person is still lurking. That might be the same guy that I'm thinking of, actually. It might be him. But who knows? It is definitely some loser, and we're not going to give them any more oxygen. We're going to let it go.
Mel Gibson?
Maybe. Oh, yeah. John. Oh, my God. Anytime I mention Mel Gibson on here, John loses it. He's like, fuck Mel Gibson. hates Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
I understand why. I get it. I listen. I'm not saying I love Mel Gibson or anything, but he's Mad Max, and I love Mad Max. You know, it is
big
what
Mad
it is.
Max fan.
Big Mad Max fan. I can't help myself. I do listen. I do like Mel Gibson movies. I do think Mel Gibson is a piece of shit. It is possible.
Apocalypto is great.
Apocalypto is great. I do love Johnny Ramone's music. I do think Johnny Ramone was a piece of shit in his personal life. Totally can separate the two.
Yes.
You know, right? Like it doesn't have to be yeah, it's okay, Lizzie. You don't have to, it's not about leaving it alone, not leaving it alone. It's fun. It's funny. But the problem is the more we talk about it, the more we encourage the behavior. And that's the problem. Even though it's fun to talk about it, even if it makes us feel morally superior, which is a fun feeling to have, the most adult thing to do is to not talk about it. It's fun to do. You can do one hate video. You know, we could bash Chud in that one video, and then we move on. Same thing with Graves, whatever the situation is. All right. Enough of that. Yeah. Bro.
Can't we all just get along?
All right. Let me ask you guys this. I want to do a top 5 list because that's how we did the Robert show. We had Robert from Adam Age on along with Jason Sink. That was a really fun Pizza Punk episode, and I highly recommend everybody go check it out because we just had we had a blast on that show. I want to do
Robert
something
has
similar.
great stories, right?
Oh my God. Like, you know what's funny about Robert? I didn't know anything about him. And, you know, I knew that he was producing the Lee Ving doc. And I was like, do you want to come on the show and talk about it? Like, you know, just come on the show. And as it turns out, I guess I knew the director way longer than I had thought I had known him in previous association and whatnot. And he just goes, oh yeah, I worked at SST Records. You what? He worked at SST Records throughout the 90s. He knows so much stuff, dude. Merch guy for Jerry and Glenn Danzig, separate times. I mean, the dude just like blew my mind with some of the stuff. I was
the Ramones merch, Arturo.
Right. Yes.
Robert took me to SST and I had Greg sign some stuff when I was out there one time.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Wait, before we get there, let's hear that story. You were at SST. This was in California? Yeah.
And it's
okay,
disgusting.
what was that like?
It was cat feces all over the freaking place.
Stop it.
Yeah, it was bad. And I have asthma.
Oh.
So like an asthma attack waiting to happen entering that place.
Are you allergic to cats?
The dander, I guess, yeah.
Me too. I also have I'm allergic to cat dander. They make I respect cats, but they make me miserable. So like I don't like them because they make me miserable, like physically. But yeah, that would be my worst nightmare. And that's crazy. He just lets cats just crap all over the place.
He was a nice enough guy, you know.
Who, Ginn?
Yeah.
When you met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
We have a funny story. Robert.
Yeah.
John and I, London and Steve, were at Steve's house one time.
Yeah.
And they pop in a video cassette. London wants to show everyone when he dislocates his shoulder on stage. It was like the first reunion show, Sam Hain reunion show.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing, and he goes like, yeah, and he goes, oh, and you see him go like this. John and I thought it was the funniest thing. We're crying, laughing. And we look at those guys, and they're all straight-faced. Robert, London, and Steve, they're like, what the fuck is so funny? And we thought he was showing us for a laugh, you know?
Oh,
I don't know.
my
John and
God.
I have like a different mentality. And I was like, oh, excuse me. Like, I don't know. It was funny, but not funny.
That is what an insane situation that is. That is an insane situation.
Yeah.
You literally just described like my worst nightmare. That's like
the way but it's funny because the way, you know, London was always a very like, you know, off the cuff kind of guy, like dark humor.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was like, hey, you guys want to see how I dislocated my shoulder? You know, like one of those things.
You were anticipating something that was supposed to be considered humorous.
What he thought was humorous, but meanwhile, you know, these guys are looking at us like, whoa, like, don't you see what happened? He just
like, oh no, like when it happened, and we were like,
and who didn't somebody pop it back in?
Oh my
like
Lord.
that night?
I think he finished the show. Yeah.
No, he didn't finish the show. He
Oh,
didn't. Joey, I think it was Castillo came in and finished the show. Because Castillo was drumming for Danzig at that time.
Wow.
I think he didn't really know the songs,
insane.
but he came in and finished. London, it was during Unholy Passion, I remember. I think he may have finished the song, but Castillo finished the set.
Wait. If it was Unholy Passion, then London would have been on bass, no? Because Steve played drums.
That's
played
true.
drums
You're right.
on his material.
You're right.
And
You're
London played
You're
on
right.
his material.
You're right. So maybe it wasn't Unholy Passion, but
I don't
think
know.
He
I honestly
he threw
don't
his
know.
arm up in the air, and as he threw his
Right.
arms up in the air, that's how he dislocated it.
Right. Oh my Lord. That is an insane, talk about like a social situation, like social dynamic situation where, that is a really fascinating story when you think about it. You think about all the things, expectations, what you guys thought, what they thought.
Yeah. It was awkward.
Conflicting. So how did that tell me something caused it to dissipate? It had to.
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Did somebody say something to like cut through the awkwardness or something, or was it just like
no recollection?
I don't recall.
You blocked it out.
I don't remember.
Blocked it out.
I don't even remember Robert being there that night, but he was there. We had dinner at Steve's house. Yeah. I don't remember Robert being there.
Remember him playing the drums in the basement?
Yeah, kinda. All I remember
was
that Steve had the original Misfits wooden sign.
Which he sold, right? He eventually sold it.
Yeah, he eventually sold it. But the story he told us, I'm sure he must have told you the story, Jeff, right? About how he acquired it?
I don't think so. He found it in the garbage when they moved to Vernon. Yeah,
it was just in the garbage. You want to talk about a stroke of luck. But you sell it to somebody on eBay or whatever. How do you ship that thing? The thing was huge.
They got to pick it up. It was like
made
out of chicken wire, right? There was like
chicken wire. Yeah, it was. Well, it was mounted to a chicken wire fence, and it was all made out of wood. It was all carved out.
I wonder if that must have been Jerry who had done that.
Probably
who designed that.
But it was
out of the trash, right? Imagine.
Yeah, he said he was driving by there. He lived right by there, and either he was driving by or he was walking by, and there it was out in the garbage. Talk about that's crazy.
I understand that he eventually, he has a wonderful philosophy about like that stuff that or at least it applies to him because he lived so much of it. But for, someone like me who did not live so much of it, even though I'm not a collector and don't feel the same attachment like to stuff like that, I still, if I found that wooden sign, it would be like surgically attached to me. Like I would never, it would be behind me. Like I would stare at it. I would
wear it as a backpack.
Yeah, I'd wear it as a backpack. It'd be like on my keychain. I'd be dragging it around behind my key loop. No, my point is that like, it's amazing. He was able to let go of it because I think he said, and I'm quoting, this is a secondhand quote. So this is not Steve telling me this directly, but I think Tank was the one who told me that Steve said to him something about like, you have the memories and the memories are what's important, and you can let go of the physical thing and sell it to someone else who wants to have the connection. You already have the connection. You don't need to hold on to it. And I wonder if that is what, allowed him to part with something.
It's a nice theory.
I wonder if that's what allowed him to part with it,
Could be.
Because that's like a one of a kind.
Pay it forward.
Listen, today, that sign probably would go for tens of thousands of dollars. It would be probably in like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame display. If Jerry's bass is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame display, that Misfits sign from that show has way more, what am I trying to say here? Justification. No, not justification. Right. It just has more right to be there, I think, personally.
Jeff, do you have any insight about Howie Pyro's collection, all his pop culture and weird kitschy stuff? Like that needs to be preserved. And
so, in terms of insight, I met Howie several times. I got to interview him and stuff. But I was not friends with him. I did not know him. The video I did on my channel was just because we cover interesting people on the channel, and I just wanted to say something about his life, which was fascinating.
A great show.
Yeah, thank you. It was just, he doesn't have a book. He didn't write a book, which makes me so sad. I mean, he was such a fascinating dude. He had a story and I'm going to say this word wrong. Is it antidote? Yeah. He had a story. Anecdote. Thank you. I knew I was butchering it. He had a story and an antidote for every single, like, here's me with Screaming Jay Hawkins. Here's me with, like, he just knew all these people. He saw such a swath of history.
That $12,000 story blew my mind.
Yeah. Wait, what was the $12,000 story?
They found all the cash in the church.
Oh, right. Johnny Thunder's money. Yes. Yeah. And they kept it. That was amazing. But my point is that he became a collector later in life, or accumulated stuff. I think there should be, if I had my druthers, if it was up to me, there should be a Howie Pyro museum.
Yeah.
There should be a museum for his collection. His collection needs to either be in an archive or it needs to be a museum. Howie Pyro didn't have any children. This is his legacy. And he meant so much to so many people that knew him. Everybody on social media just loved that guy. I mean, everybody who he touched in their lives loved him.
Very quiet guy too. Very quiet guy.
Really?
Not. I met him a few times. I wasn't friends with him. Played with the band a couple times, opened for them. Talked to him a little bit, but not as much of an out there guy as you would think he was. From what I can remember, very quiet. Just was always in the right place at the right time.
Right.
That's the way I remember him.
I think that there should be, to answer your question, his collection is vast, and his collection was so big that he was actually on an episode of a hoarder style show called like Collection Sickness or something. I forget what it was called. And as a matter of fact, you can watch the episode. Is on Facebook. So one of his friends uploaded the whole episode, and he he loved kitsch and campy stuff and just everything. He was obsessed with pop culture and counterculture and all these things. The ultimate collector. That stuff needs to be in a museum. And you know what
Susan Hannaford said about it?
No, what did she say about it?
She's seen many of collections, like you can imagine, right? And she said his, bar none, was the largest and craziest collection she's ever seen. Like he was.
It was funny. I didn't even know he was a collector until
that was later in his life. I think that was later in his life.
I didn't know that he was a collector. Did he still live in New York when he passed, or was he still in L.A.? Oh, he was still in L.A.
In L.A. Yeah.
Okay.
He left New York. He left New York in like '99, and after Coney Island High closed, I think he went out to L.A. to be in Danzig, basically.
Yeah, okay.
And Danzig let him live in a shed like behind his house, like I guess rent free or something. Like he lived, and I guess Danzig was really, really good to him. And I mean, he toured the world with Danzig, and then him and Todd left because they had that record deal with for that band. I forget what they were called, and the record never came out.
Chrome Locust or something.
Locust, something like that. And and then he became this insane collector. I think he was a buyer. He was some sort of buyer for like something that had to do with kitsch stuff. So that's how he was able to supplant his collection. But I wish there was like a John Varvatos style, like rich, eccentric weirdo who would put up the cash for a space so that call it like the Howie Pyro Intoxica Museum.
I'd love to see it on tour. Comes, in a gallery.
And people would go see it. I mean, he had such rare, interesting pieces. When I made a Screaming Jay Hawkins video. You can see it on the channel, and I can't call it a documentary. It's just like, I don't know what it is. It's like a compilation or something. It sort of like narratively tells the story of Screaming Jay Hawkins. But I was trying to track down an obscure clip of him from a movie called Mr. Rock and Roll from 1957 starring Alan Reed. Alan Reed is the father of rock and roll and also the man who paid Screaming Jay Hawkins to get in the coffin in the first place. Like that whole thing was because of Alan Freed. It was his idea. And I asked Howie, I was like, Howie, I'm trying to figure this out. This was about a year ago. And he gave me some information. I think he was kind of out. He was ailing. He had a liver transplant. And that also is eventually what led to, his ailments that eventually caused him to pass away. Which is just really sad, man. I'm really sad. And like I said, I hope there's some sort of memorial museum thing with all his stuff. I hope it doesn't get split up. He spent so much time and energy putting it together.
Somebody has to come in. Somebody has to come in and manage it or do something with it.
They should.
Next of kin. Yeah.
And also he has a sister, I believe. And also one more thing. Somebody needs to write a book about his life or make a documentary. I don't know if a book would work. The book would work if it was Howie writing it or co-writing it. You now need to do a documentary with all the people that ever friggin' knew him talking about Howie Pyro. That's what you need. And will we ever get it? I don't know. But that's something I would like to see personally. So, we're approaching our final descent.
We're winding down.
Yeah, we're winding down. Let's do this. Let's do the round table thing. I started talking about it.
Five something you wanted to ask.
Yeah, let's do this. We did this with Robert and Jason. I really loved it. It's 5 recommendations. You have to pick 5 records and 5 movies that you love deeply and you want to recommend. And as I'm talking right now, I'm hoping both of the Johns are thinking about their picks since I'm putting them on the spot. Think deep and long about what you want.
5 records and 5 movies.
5 records and 5 movies. And here's the thing: we'll start each with the 5 of the records, and then 5 of the movies, and we'll go around.
Tough.
I'm going to do 5 too. It's recommendations. It's not your favorite. It's not going to be the best. No, it's not tough. But you can do this.
Recommending based on what? Like best director,
that's
best soundtrack,
that's just recommendations for the audience. Something that you really love and that you want to recommend. Think about it like this. Something that you want to turn people on to. That's what it is. Okay?
All right.
5 of each. Who wants to go first with the records? We'll start with the records. Does anybody want to go first?
You go first.
I could go. Should I go first, guys? All right.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm going to try and say things that I didn't say the last time because that would be ridiculous. So we talked. I mentioned J. Richard Blood Visions last time, of immaculate record. Talk about a record under a half hour. It's more than 20 minutes. It's under a half hour, scorching, super fast. There's a band somewhere in the Scandinavian area. I don't want to call them Danish and then have them be Swedish. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. I forget what they are. There's some sort of Scandinavian something. They're called the Dahmers, and they are the horror version of J. Retard. And they have an EP called The Blood on My Hands EP, but really you can listen to anything they put out and it's going to be fucking great. Check them out. They're called the Dahmers. They have a band camp. I can't recommend this band enough. Phenomenal. That's my first pick. Pick number 2, I'm going to go with a band called Dog Party. Dog Party is, I think it's 2 girls, and I am a sucker for female fronted bands. I don't know what it is.
Me too.
Just love it. We've talked about this, John. I just love a female fronted band that just knows what they're doing. And Dog Party does 2 of my absolute favorite Beatles covers. It's on Spotify. They do, oh God, what is it? They do, now I'm blanking on the names of the songs. Oh my God, this is going to bother me. In any case, seek out Dog Party. They are absolutely terrific. And I'm going to keep rolling with the female fronted recommendations. And I'm going to recommend a band called Best Coast. They're kind of popular. It's just 2 people in the band. It's a guy and a girl, and the girl, she's like the singer, songwriter, front woman. She plays guitar. And then the dude, he plays bass, but he also plays guitar. He's just kind of like an everyman. Maybe he's drumming, maybe he's playing the bass, and they are stupendous. And they released, I can't recommend this band enough, Best Coast. They put out an album called Crazy for You, and then the Best Place, I think. and it's Beach Boys with a female voice doing indie rock. And you can't hit a bad song. They're just, I recommend all of their records. They're just that phenomenal. And dreamy, lots of reverb, California, just stupendous. That's called Best Coast, guys. Check that out. What was that? 2 picks?
That
3
was
picks.
3.
That was 3. Okay. Pick number 4 is going to be, should we keep this female oriented, or should
Are you
we
just
move
coming up
on?
with new stuff or stuff like all?
Just whatever. Some of it's new, some of it's
Okay.
just whatever. You're
I didn't know
thinking
what our
hard.
genre was. If we were talking
No,
about
it could
late
be
model stuff.
it can be anything. It can be
Okay.
absolutely anything. Okay. For those of you out there who are Beatle fanatics, I briefly mentioned this on the episode with Robert. That's another cool thing that I love about Robert. The dude is also a Beatles fan like me, and I just like, he can really talk Beatles. I briefly mentioned to him because he brought up Elvis Costello. Elvis Costello and Paul McCartney were songwriting partners in the year 1989, and both of them released songs that they had co-written respectively on McCartney's album from 1989 called Flowers in the Dirt, and Elvis Costello has an album called Spike. That song Veronica is written by McCartney, and I believe his real name is McGinnis or something, McManus. And so somebody put together a Spotify playlist of all the songs they wrote. It's about 14 songs, and it makes an album. It's just called McCartney McManus or something. Mm-hmm. And like I said, just seek out Spike and seek out Flowers in the Dirt. What I'm really recommending here is this McCartney Elvis Costello mix. That's what I'm really recommending. It's great. And my last pick is going to be a real simple one. I'm going with TSOL's Beneath the Shadows. Just a phenomenal death rock record. They were pigeonholed as like a hardcore political punk band. And then what did they do? They put out Dance With Me, which is secretly a death rock album as well. And then they were like, hey, let's get a keyboard player on this. And we're now going to we're going to go really outside the box. And they alienated every meathead hardcore fan that they had with this keyboard and created this record that's so outside of the box with songs like Beneath the Shadows, Soft Focus, She'll Be Saying, and of course, one of their greatest hits, Wash Away. Every single track is good, including an instrumental that I tried to license for my film Romeo's Distress and was not able to, called Glass Streets, which is one of the most phenomenal instrumental songs ever written. I don't know how else to describe it. It makes me feel feelings of elation. It's just a beautiful, haunting, wonderful instrumental. Those are my 5 picks. Who's next?
I don't know. Because of my insomnia, I have brain fog. But
all right, I'm John. You want to go? You're gonna go
for current stuff. Believe it or not, I like all kinds of music, and I do love female lead singers. But I've been listening to Hennessy lately. Leah Hennessy. She's the stepdaughter of David Johansen.
Oh,
and it's very interesting. She's really cool, and she was in a band called Makeout in the early aughts, which is also a really good band. The horror movies. Last time we talked, the Supernatural movie that came out within the last couple of years, and it's escaping me now. Same director as the Sommer.
Steven Sommer?
Sommer, what?
Steven
Something Sommer.
Oh, Midsummer.
Midsummer.
Yeah, that's Ari. God, what's his last name? Who else did Hereditary?
Midsummer.
It's Midsummer, but it's spelled with an O.
Those are the movies: Midsummer and Hereditary. Wow.
Yeah,
Good
you
stuff.
like both of those, okay?
Yeah, and the Avengers are coming to Brooklyn. Go see that show.
I have seen the Avengers.
Oh, really?
The Avengers. Yes, I saw them in Brooklyn about 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. They played with Spring Horse and this band out of, oh no, maybe that was a different show. I'm blending them. There's a band called the Nervosas out of Ohio that were phenomenal as well. But I saw the Avengers. I saw them. It was good. It was a good show.
All right.
Good. It's good. It's good. Oh, you know what? The Avengers played with Channel 3. That's when I saw them. That was 2010. They played with Spring Horse. It was Channel 3. It was the Avengers. And I'm trying to remember who else played. There was one other band. And that was
you turned me on to the Avengers.
Who did?
Avengers. John. Back in the day.
Avengers.
The Avengers.
We are the Avengers. Okay, so do you have 4 more bands, or are you just giving us one of each?
Hoy. John, you go, and I'll interject.
Okay.
You know, I've said this before. I don't listen to a lot of new music, so
that's okay.
Whatever you guys are talking about. Yeah, talking about new stuff. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, five records that I would recommend to people for like a lifetime of listening to music is very tough. A lot of it depends on what I am listening to at the time, whether I think it's legend worthy. Top 5. I mean, okay, the first Black Sabbath album. You know, for anyone that wants to know what heavy metal sounds like. You know. Alice Cooper's Killer. Okay. You know, one of the first record I ever bought. You know, I could say a million. I could say the first Kiss album. I could say the first one thing. Okay.
It can literally be anything, and it doesn't have to be for life. It's just recommendations. Hey, 5 things you should check out.
I recommend to you, Jeff Frumess, to check out Blast: The Power of Expression.
I will.
Tell me how you think. Tell me the name. I'll text it to you. Tell me how you think it stacks up to Black Flag.
Yeah,
since we're on that. They also have a new record too. I don't remember the name of it. It may just be a single, but check it out. So if you're into that type of stuff, and they're one of those bands that have just stayed the same since the 80s. So I was going back as I usually do. We'll go back and listen to old stuff again that I may have either missed or forgotten about for 30 years. Honestly, never been a really big Beatles fan. I was always more of a Stones guy. So, and I know people say, well, Exile on Main Street, but I'm a Sticky Fingers guy over Exile on Main Street. If you're going to listen to the Stones, in my opinion, Sticky Fingers
is one of the greatest.
I mean, come on. Even and as a kid, I never liked You Got to Move, but I love it now for its kookiness. You know, just I get it now. I didn't get it when I was 5 or 6. I get it now. Mm-hmm. How many did I name? I'm kind of just going random with it.
Hold on. You did Black Sabbath. You did Blast. You did Stones. You did Alice Cooper's Killers. You have one more.
I have one more. So that's a tough one.
You could do this. You can do this.
I don't know. I mean, it's that.
If we're just throwing out records,
all right. Since we've had another conversation, I'm going to throw out Static Age. Put Static Age in there to anybody who's and I know there's always if you're going to, and I think you've had this. You're going to explain the Misfits to somebody. Do you give them Earth AD or do you give them Static Age?
Right. It's tough.
I love both records, but again, I always love early stuff better than later stuff. So if I'm going to put somebody onto the Misfits, it's going to be Static Age because
I say Walk Among Us.
I say Walk Among Us too. I think Walk Among Us is even with the live track on it, even with Violent World, which I think is just such kind of like a filler song, considering. I think, it's funny. I love all 54 songs, but I think if I had to like rank them, I think at the very bottom would be Violent World. It's just so low on my totem pole. I just think it's so like pedestrian, man. I don't know. I just don't care. And it has nothing to do with the lyrics or anything. I just don't think it's a good song. I just don't think it's like compared to all the other Misfit songs. It's just at the bottom for me, man. I don't know.
Well, there's
Plan 9 Nike.
There's gotta be a bottom. I mean, they're not all. They're not. I mean, if I never hear Last Caress again, it'll be too soon.
Oh man, that song is like I love that song so much.
I just can't listen to it anymore.
Throwing out records.
Yeah.
One of my favorites of all time is Amy Winehouse's Back to Black.
Love it. Great. Great
Just-
pick, John.
I mean, wow.
Cool.
Just from the first song to the last, flawless. And oddly enough, this film documentary sort of not great acting. The movie's not great, but the story is compelling. The Lords of Chaos, right? With about the bands Mayhem and Birdman.
I wrote a review about that movie.
Real scary, real life stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Blood curdling.
Blood curdling. And you know who played Varg? They had a Jewish actor play Varg, which I loved. I thought was so amazing. I loved it. I love that they had a Jewish guy. And Varg was pissed. He was so mad about it. He was fucking furious. Yeah. Lords of Chaos, great film. I really, you know what I love about that movie? It starts off, this is truth, lies, and everything in between or something. And I just love that they use that to sort of fill in some of the gaps, because some of it's like they don't know. No one knows what happened between those two guys. We know, but you don't know how it went down, apart from what Varg says, because Varg's a liar. So you're all over the place, John. You're doing records and movies, and for a guy who's so meticulous and archival, you're too all over the board. It's the insomnia. We'll blame the insomnia.
Yes, we're rounding the 2-hour mark. I think it's time. Here, I'm your alarm clock.
You have 2 albums and you have 2 movies. Come on, you could do this, John.
Oh, me? More?
Yeah, you.
No.
Do 3 more albums and then we'll go to John for his movies.
Oh boy.
Or you want me to go with my movies?
You go with your you go with your movies.
Okay. I'm gonna do 5 movies. Ready? Right off the bat, Dog Soldiers, which is Night of the Living Dead with werewolves. It's
interesting concept.
It's just off. I don't know if you guys have never heard of Dog Soldiers.
No, putting it in my notes.
Oh my God. You both have to see this film. Directed by Neil Marshall. It's his first film. It is a gem. My favorite looking werewolves. Better than any other werewolf. Better than the Howling Werewolves. Better than American Werewolf in London. They are the best werewolves. And like I said, it's literally a siege movie with werewolves, and it's Night of the Living Dead because they're trapped in a house. It's just so good. It's
the Howling
so
Werewolves
good.
were great.
And it's gory, and it's just nuts. It's a nutty, crazy movie. Dog Soldiers. Can't recommend that enough.
All right.
That's movie number 1. For movie number 2, I'm literally looking at the poster as I'm saying this to you. It's right next to Phantom of Paradise. I think I recommended Mad Max already, and I think I recommended Phantom of Paradise. So movie number 2 is going to be, what am I going to say? I'm going to say, I was about to say one thing, and then I said something. Okay, I'm going to recommend George Romero's Day of the Dead. And the reason why I'm going to recommend it is for one scene in particular. And that scene doesn't have any zombies in it. If you want to study masterful acting and writing, watch the scene in Day of the Dead when Sarah goes up against Captain Rhodes in the mess hall. And he turns to Steele, of all people, and he says, shoot her dead. And he goes, bang! You're dead.
Oh,
and then he says, if you don't shoot that woman, I'll shoot you myself. And it is such a tense standoff. To me, it's probably the most tense scene of the movie. It doesn't have a single zombie in it. And that's a testament to the masterful filmmaking of George Romero. He's just a master. For movie number 3, am I up to 3? Yeah, 3. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with The Frighteners by Peter Jackson. This movie does not get talked about enough. It is the beautiful thing about The Frighteners is it was produced by Robert Zemeckis. It was supposed to be a Tales from the Crypt movie, and it ended up getting written and directed by Peter Jackson. And Zemeckis stepped out of the way because they were just supposed to write it. He was supposed to direct it, and he said, "You know what? you guys have such a great vision for this film. I want you guys to direct it. I'm going to step out of the way. And he produced it. And of course, Michael J. Fox is starring in it. So what you end up with is like Ghostbusters meets Back to the Future. It's grisly. It's a crazy balls to the wall story. You're so engrossed in it. And of course, I'd be remiss not to mention the Jeffrey Combs, who plays Herbert West in Reanimator. He plays Agent Dammers, and he's just a bit character part. And his performance as Agent Dammers in The Frighteners is so good. He chews every single scene. It's like a steak. You just can't help but just watch him.
Love Jeffrey Combs.
Yeah, just deliver his dialogue. It's just so perfect. And his story and his arc ends up being really, really twisted. I won't give it away for anybody who hasn't seen it. That's The Frighteners. What was that? Number 3? God,
that was 4.
That was 4.
That was
okay,
4.
good. That was 4. Okay, one more. For my last movie, what am I gonna pick? I'm gonna pick The Last Duel by Ridley Scott, and here's why. It just came out. It's a very interesting story. I love Rashomon storytelling. What is Rashomon? It's a film by Akira Kurosawa from the 50s. It's very famous. And basically it's the same. It's the same story told from 3 points of view. And it's just really great. It's really great.
Who is this guy?
I love this. I actually kind of love this. This is.
I'm gonna give you a rapid fire to clear up my picks.
And I'm going total rapid fire because I'm exhausted.
Some of my favorites, Pulp Fiction, right? One of
okay, love it.
Mm-hmm. Jaws, Exorcist, those very Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead, our favorite, Jeff.
Yes.
For music. On the female singers, I love Diane Birch. Speak a Little Louder. I highly recommend that.
Okay.
I love the Dirty Projectors, Bitter Orca. Ian MacKay's Egg Hunt from '86. That record's really good. And ESG, A South Bronx Story.
Cool. There. Love it.
Rapid
fire, baby. I love it. Great job, John. Okay, next, the other John of Steele. Go ahead.
Rapid fire 5 movies, because I did the music already, right? Rapid fire 5 movies.
Yep.
Staying along with the Pulp Fiction, except I'm going Jackie Brown. Okay.
Okay.
That's my favorite Tarantino movie, Jackie Brown. Obviously the classics: Exorcist, Omen, First Omen, Halloween 3. Obviously, one of my favorites. The Shining, Rosemary's Baby. I can go on and on and on and on and on and on when it comes to horror movies. So, yeah,
that's great.
Email me if you want more.
Email him if you want more.
Now, was Anton LaVey actually a consultant on Rosemary's Baby? I heard he claims that he was.
I don't know. Was Anton LaVey in the Kiss float that Warner Brothers made for the Paranoid record in San Francisco or whatever back in 1970? Who knows? Come on.
All right. Would you be mad? Okay.
I also like Licorice Pizza. Talking about it's Pizza Punk. Licorice Pizza.
I haven't seen it yet.
The vinyl record. A black vinyl record is like a pizza, right?
Black licorice is God.
Wait. You're talking about Licorice Pizza, the movie that just came out?
Yes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Okay.
Let's wrap up, guys.
Yeah. Let us wrap up the show. I really want to thank Voice of Doom for returning to the show. And guys, you are welcome anytime you got anything coming out.
Wasn't a 4th person supposed to join us? I'm sorry. Wasn't there supposed to be a 4th person in this tonight?
I
thought there was 4 people on the invite. I can't believe I just remembered that.
Oh, no. You know what that is? That's my wife. I put my wife on every single one, but that's how we keep each other aware of things. So she knows when I have a show. I always invite her. We have a shared Google calendar. So that's how she knows when I'm doing something or when I have something lined up. That's just my wife. Gotcha. Now I remember what I was going to say to you. Would you be mad at me if I told you that I think I prefer Ronnie James Dio doing Ozzy songs over Ozzy doing Ozzy songs,
I've
would you
heard
be
you
really
say
mad?
this
Would
last
this make
week.
you really upset?
No, it doesn't. What do I give a shit? I don't care.
Okay.
I'm
not trying to be provocative. I just legitimately.
I know. I really enjoy. I really enjoy hearing Ian Gillan do Ozzy songs. As crazy as that,
Okay.
for the '83 Born Again tour.
You are a true I mean, it sounds like
I'm
a
Sabbath fan, but
do you go into the tier? Do you go into tire or whatever? Tire?
No. Listen, I've told you, I've tried to give a lot of that later stuff a chance.
Yeah.
Some of it is okay, but some of it is just way too ridiculous.
You like that Black Sabbath record featuring Tony Iommi.
The Eternal Idol.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. That's I think that's called Tier.
Tier was later. The Seventh Star was Black Sabbath featuring Tony Iommi.
Oh,
then
man.
it was like
Crazy.
the Eternal Idol.
Let go of the name. Just let it go, man.
I think he tried to, and they wouldn't let him.
I'm a purist.
Is that what it was? I thought it was a reverse situation.
I'm a purist Ozzy guy. They should have changed the name, just like Jerry Only should have had the Jerry Only band.
John, it's not a sacred cow for me, but I respect, as for someone who is a Sabbath guy, I respect your feelings on it. I get it. Listen, I'm gonna wrap it up because that could lead into a whole other conversation. You know what we have to have you? Oh, you know what we have to have you both back on for? We have to have this talk with Ace Von Johnson from LA Guns, who was on Pizza Punk Trauma. We were discussing what makes a band a band, and like when does a band not be a band, and like, the front man, like it's a fascinating question.
Yeah, when is it not a band anymore?
Right. But let's not talk about it now. But next time,
I saw that on your thing.
Next time you guys come on. Yeah, I love those discussions because I love each band is a case study. Like you look at the Vandals versus the Ramones versus Black Sabbath. They're all case studies and every single answer is subjective. You look at Joy Division, all of them are subjective. In any case, guys, go check out PVR. We have the link in the description. Check out Voice of Doom's Bandcamp. I forgot to put that. That will also be in the description. I want to thank Voice of Doom for coming on. They're welcome anytime. Love these guys. They're fucking
Thanks
awesome.
for having us.
They're playing twice. Check out the new record. Blah, 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 blah. XYZ123. How do we say goodbye? Jeff. Thank you. Listen, I'm not going to hold you guys afterwards. I'll let you go. We'll chat. We'll be in touch. I'm going to go right into the Patreon.
I'm gonna send you that blast off, Jeff.
Okay, I'll send the blast off, guys. Peace and hair grease. And hair grease.
You can't comb your hair.
You can't comb your hair. We're gonna do the little Patreon thing. You guys know about the Patreon. Goodbye, Johns. Bye, guys.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jeff. So I've decided to make a Patreon. What is Patreon? I don't know how to define a Patreon. Let me look it up. Patreon is a membership platform that makes it very easy for creators to get paid for the things that they're already creating. I want to do it full time. I want this to be my full-time job. In my efforts to make that happen, I've set up this platform. Is it going to work? Is it going to be successful? I don't know, but I would rather try and crash and burn than not try at all. The goal is to create enough passive revenue so that I can continue to do this full-time, uninterrupted. Why? Because I love to do this. I love creating content. I love making videos. I love shooting films. I love doing podcasts. In case you couldn't tell, I love to talk and I never shut the fuck up. So right now I've kept the Patreon incredibly simple. There's 2 tiers, and that may change in the future. The Murdergram is a simple way to extend support for all of the hours and hours of free content on the channel for nothing more than $1. 38 cents goes to Patreon. What's $1.38, eh? It's less than a cup of coffee, but it's a great way that you can show support for very little effort. When you divide that $1.38 by the hours and hours and hours of time spent listening to this endless drivel of content, the dollar cost average works out. Next up is the YouTube Casualty for $6.66. The YouTube Casualty is loaded to the gills. Enjoy the archive ad-free, as well as ad-free early access to special docu-style podcast videos, music reaction commentaries, and the like, a month before they drop on YouTube, loaded with ads, I might add. You're also going to get exclusive content and behind-the-scenes content that is not available on YouTube or anywhere else. So you get to peek behind the veil. And believe me, there's a couple of choice pieces. Most of all, more than anything, whether you join the Patreon or not, I just want to thank each and every one of you that comes to the channel, that watches all the shows, that leaves comments, that participates, that subscribes. That's really the most important thing. This is just trying to find a way to earn a living as an artist. And with that, thank you for my TED Talk. Join the Patreon because we need you! 66 cents.